Hi everybody, welcome in. I'm just working on a baby mitten to match this little one. I started out by chaining 16. I'm going to single crochet back 5 and then do half double crochets. After that I'm going to do 8 of those and then 2 slip stitches before turning my work. There's 5 single crochets, then we're going to do half double crochets. There's 8 half double crochets, and then I'm going to end with 2 slip stitches. Welcome in everybody. Just working on this baby mitten. Bear with me, I had to adjust the pattern I have for the adult, and so this is my second time making it. We'll see how it goes. Hi Antonia. How is everybody tonight? Ending with 2 slip stitches. And then you don't have the patience. That's okay. That's okay. You can just watch and enjoy watching, huh? Chain 1 and you turn your work, and then I'm going to start with 2 slip stitches going back. And then back to half double crochets. Two, 3. And that should leave us with 5 stitches to slip stitch. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is just like the adult pattern, the half double crochets, the slip stitches, but I cut it down. I made like a toddler mitten set, and then I'm making more of a baby for like a 1.5-year-old. Hopefully this fits. I just kind of cut the stitches down to see, kind of eyeballing it, and hopefully it'll work. But it looks like it will. Tiny little hand in there. So just a little, see. Thanks. Hopefully it fits her. But yeah, It's just based on the adult pattern that I use. The half double crochets, the slip stitches, and it's sometimes hard to hold on to your work when it's so tiny, but going down toward the cuff you're doing slip stitches, and as you go away from the cuff it's single crochets and then half doubles. Half double, and then you chain one, turn your work, and then we're going to go back up toward the mitten. We're going to do single crochets starting in the second loop from the hook, the little loop where the yarn comes out. You skip that one, you go into this one right here, then you start doing your single crochets, only 5 of them. And then we're going to go back to half double crochets. Should be 8 of them. Let's see, oops. Half double crochets, you yarn over, go into the back loop. We're doing back loop only. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. Yarn over, go into the back loop. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Sometimes this yarn splits, so you have to really be careful. I'm using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. And I use 2 slip stitches here at the top, and that seemed to work on my other little mitten. I really had to downsize this, as you can tell from the adult. And then you chain 1, turn your work, and then we're going back toward the cuff. So we do half double crochets, well, slip stitches, 2 slip stitches. We're just going in reverse of how we came up, except once we get down here, we'll do slip stitches going toward the cuff. So you do 2 slip stitches at the top of your mitten. And then 8 half double crochets going down. Like I said, it's sometimes hard to get the crochet hook down through all 3 chains without catching, and even turning your crochet hook down, even when you do that, sometimes you still catch it. Check, I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna slip stitch these last 5 chains, back loop only. And I'm just doing it a little bit looser, doing my slip stitches. Give myself a little slack. So it's not so, the stitches aren't so tight on the other side coming back up. Then you chain 1, and turn your work. And this is what it starts to look like. The top of the mitten, the top of the mitten, and the cuff. It's just for a little baby. Well, she's 1.5. So you see how tiny it is. So I haven't tried it on her yet. But she's just got a tiny little hand. So we'll see how it turns out. See if it fits her tomorrow. Yeah, I took the adult pattern and I just downsized it, really just guessing, eyeballing it to see, I knew where her hand fit in my hand, so that's what I went by. Thank you. So going back away from the cuff and up toward the mitten, you do single crochets here into these 5 stitches. Then you'll do half double crochets and 2 slip stitches at the top. Oops. Single crochet, going away from the cuff. Slip stitches on the other side. These are back loop only crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, do 5, and then we do 8 half double crochet and 2 slip stitches. Baby mittens are what I'm making. I made a pair of mittens for a 5-year-old recently, and they're on my YouTube page. But those turned out pretty good, and they fit great. So I thought I would make a little toddler set of mittens. I didn't do any measurements, just kind of eyeballing it. Two slip stitches, you chain 1, turn your work. And then you're just going to go in reverse order. Just like you came up, you're going to do the same except getting to the cuff, going down. Of course, we just slip stitch and you slip stitch at the top and the bottom on the one side. Those are slip stitches. Now we do half double crochets. Do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaves me with 5 stitches remaining, and I'm going to do slip stitches down here in the cuff. Slip stitches are basically just going through the back loop, yarn over, and you pull through both of these loops. The back loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. And then this last stitch is hidden under this bump, and you just pull the bump down a little bit and you can see it kind of hiding under there. So you go in the back loop and you slip stitch. And then you chain one and turn your work. These are baby mittens that we're working on. This is the size of the little baby mitten. Turn your work, and then as we're going away from the cuff, we do single crochets. 5 single crochets, 8 half double crochets, and 2 slip stitches at the top. And I'm going into the second chain from the hook. So the hook has that yarn coming through it, through the loop there. You don't want to go into that chain, obviously. You want to go into the next chain over. So it will be the second chain from the hook, or second stitch. Back loop only, and you're doing a single crochet. So you go into the back loop first, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Go into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And one more. Should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now 8 half double crochets. Half double crochet is yarning over first, going down into the back loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all the loops. Yarn over, back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Then we are left with two stitches remaining, and we're going to do slip stitches in the back loops of these 2 stitches. That one kind of is buried sometimes. You have to pull that loop or the knot back a little so you can see it. And then you chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to go back down in reverse order, except of course going down, you're going to slip stitch down here in the cuff. So you slip stitch and you single crochet, and that gives it a nice, the ridges and the stretch at the bottom in the cuff. So we're going to go into the second loop, the back loop, and do a slip stitch, and then a repeat slip stitch. Then you're going to go down with your half double crochets for 8 of them. Should leave 5 remaining stitches, and we're going to do slip stitches on this side. Back loop only. Go into the back loop, you yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Back loop, yarn over, pull back through both loops. And then this little stitch here is buried under that little bump. You pull the bump down, and it's tucked under there. And then you just chain 1 and turn your work. Since we're going up toward the mitten, we're going to do single crochets here in the next 5 stitches. We start in the second stitch from the hook, just like we did on the other side. Go in first, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Back loop only, yarn over. Hello, Linda. Hi, Linda. Welcome in. We're doing baby mittens tonight. I'm doing this one. A pattern I downsized from the adult one. Just eyeballing it. And I'm hoping it fits. I'm sure it will, but we'll see. I may have to adjust some. But I wrote the pattern down so I could refer to it. But these are, I'm doing 5 single crochets, 8 half double crochets, 2 slip stitches here. So if you're new here, welcome. I like to crochet and do custom cakes and bake and cook in the kitchen, sourdough, you name it. I'm a nurse by trade, but I like to do all kinds of fun other things too. And I love to learn. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Lisa. When I'm not working as a nurse, I like to crochet to relax and be in the kitchen and spend time with grandkids, all the fun things. Hi Ashley. Thank you guys for being here. I'm just working on a baby mitten. This is my first one that I made, so the second one I wanted to bring you guys along. So I might make mistakes here as we go, but that's okay. That's how we learn too. There, my last half double. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Yoggers Farm. And I'm going to end with 2 slip stitches at the top of the mitten. That you can't see that stitch that's buried under there, But if you pull the knot back, you can see where the front loop and the back loop are. That forms a V, and then you go down and that back loop. Slip stitch it, and then you chain one and turn your work. And then you basically do in reverse, 2 slip stitches, half double crochets, except it changes down here in the cuff. As we go up the mitten, we do single crochets. As we go down from the mitten to the cuff, we do slip stitches down here. Lunar, I think I did this one in maybe an hour, just sitting here fooling around, but it's the first one I've ever done. I made my granddaughter, she's 5, some mittens, and I kind of downsized from the adult pattern and her mitten to a little baby mitten for 1.5-year-old. So I hope it fits. I kind of went off my hand, just by memory where her hand fit in my hand, and that's how I did that. Thank you. Sometimes it's just trial and error. So I'm doing slip stitches here at the top, 2 slip stitches, and then I'll go back to half double crochets for 8 of them. Oh, did you put string or yarn connecting the mittens so that they could go through the arms of the coat? A friend of mine suggested that, and I had forgotten. Our children are all grown, so I'd forgotten that we had those back in the day. So I need to add some yarn to connect each mitten. So all you have to do is put it through the armholes of the coats, or the coat. That way they don't get lost. I'm gonna have to figure out where to put the yarn though. Like, I guess maybe in the cuff part? I'm not sure. I might have to pull up a picture to remind myself what they look like. I can see them, but I don't know where it's connected. I feel like we had maybe clips at one point for the mittens to clip them to the coats, so they don't get lost. But we also had some sort of string or yarn connecting each mitten, one through the armholes. It's been so long ago, though. Can't remember. So we have 5 stitches left going down, and when you're going away from the mitten, you do slip stitches. On the cuff, you do slip stitches and single crochets on the other side. That's really the only difference that you do here. It's pretty much repetitive otherwise. Half double crochets, slip stitches, and single crochets. Give myself some slack here. Your twins are, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, they're just ittle bitty, I bet. Little ones. These could probably fit both of their little hands, all 4 of their little hands. I imagine they're pretty tiny. I used to work at Children's Hospital, where I'm from, years ago when I was a student nurse. And then after I became a nurse, I worked in ICU there. And they floated me one time to the NICU. And those babies are just teeny little sweet things. And we had a set of twins in there one time. They were just, a pound, I think, or less than a pound. It's just incredible. Those can be so tiny. So we are doing baby mittens here, and I need to do, I think it's 16. Wait a minute, oh, it's 14 rows, okay. 14 rows across. I have to look at my pattern. 8, 10, 14, so I have about four or so more rows before I can connect them. You can make a set of these in probably a couple hours. Maybe less if you're a fast crocheter. They're twin boys. Oh my goodness, you got your hands full, don't you? Congratulations, that's so exciting. That's so fun being a parent. Oh my gosh, it's the best thing. Or a surrogate parent if you don't have your own. It's fun because I get to be, well, I'm a grandma, but I get to enjoy that, taking care of kids again, just loving up on them and playing, and it's so fun. See, this stitch is kind of hidden under there. You can't even see it unless you pull that knot back. Then you can see it under there. I still can't you can't pick them up? Oh. Well, I'm not sure why. Maybe physically. But I don't want to get too personal and ask you questions. But that's exciting. We're doing slip stitches, slip stitch. Oh, okay. I wondered if that's why. Aw, that's okay. You have those helpers. Bring them to you. Take your time healing and take care of you. That's the most important thing. Heal and plenty of rest. Which is hard to do as a new mom. Sleep deprived, unless you have lots of help, which hopefully you do. Your friends and husband are oh, I'm so glad. That's good. You gotta have help, especially with twins. My goodness. Maura, I am making a set. I'm making the other baby mitten to match this one that I made earlier. I'm hoping it fits a little 1-year-old. She's 1.5, but yeah, just a tiny little mitten. She's like a baby, I guess. Hello. And then eventually I'll sew this mitten together with a needle and yarn. So the last two I'm going to slip stitch into. This one you can see, and the other one is hidden under that bump there. You just have to move it a little bit so you can see it. And you see the bee. So we're going in back loop only. That one's a little tough one to get in there. Make sure I got all the strands. This yarn has several strands to it. And sometimes you go through the strands, not meaning to, but it just happens. There we go. I'm trying to teach myself how to crochet. I'm not doing well, still can't make a circle. You mean you're talking about the just like making a chain, or are you talking about the magic circle that people make? So we're going slip stitch. 2 slip stitches. And then we're going to go back down with 8 half double crochets. Need to grab some more yarn. Okay. I'm going to pull this back because this is the top of the mitten with the 2 slip stitches, the half doubles, and then these should be 5 here. And what I did was, I thought it was up here. Oh, I thought it was up here at the top. So let me go back, and I'm going to do single crochets, 5 of them back up here. And did I slip stitch on this side? Sometimes I get to talking and I think I did, but I'm going to just do it again. Won't take me any time at all. 4, 5. As you're going into the cuff, you do slip stitches, and then when you're going away from the cuff, it's single crochet. Yeah, there we go. So we'll slip stitch, and then slip stitching and single crochet makes the ridges, and it's stretchy on the cuff. Now we turn, and we're going to do single crochets back up for 5. There's 5. Now we go back to half double crochet for 8. You gotta be really careful that you don't go through those strands. And if you do, that's okay. You can fix it real easy. Just pull your yarn back out. Sometimes real delicate. Certain yarns are more delicate than others to work with. One more half double crochet, and then we'll do slip stitches again. I need 14 rows, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think we are almost there. Let me check out the comments real quick. See if, let me get back here a little bit. I came up with the names. Oh, Ashley, that's really cool. My husband and I kind of shared. He picked one name, I picked the other. That's neat that he came up with them. Hi, Cabrina. It's difficult to get to the second row, where it is sometimes. It just takes practice. Just it's awkward, it's even awkward for me, and I've been doing it for a long time, but just stick with it. It will get easier. Mandolin Lee. Finally, something peaceful to watch because you can learn from it. Thank you, and hello from Canada. We love our friends. We're Canadian friends. What's the difference between stitching the back of the stitch and going through the front of the stitch? I'll show you. You mean front loop only, back loop only kind of thing? There's 2 loops. I'm going to turn this so you can see it. See the V? The loops there. So there's a back loop. That's what I'm going in. There's a front loop here. Oops. You can go into the front loop or the back loop. Like that. Or you can go under both loops. And it's just right underneath. Like that. In most crocheting, you go under both of the loops. Unless it says, like in your pattern, BLO or FLO, which is BLO, back loop only. And that's what we're doing in this pattern, is back loop only. And it makes those ridges. It makes it really nice. I hope that made sense. Points are connected. Hello, everybody. Sorry if I missed comments. Hello, but welcome in, and thanks for being here with me. Hello from Texas. I didn't even notice that. Hello, welcome. Oh, Cabrina, did you see my blanket? Did you do the granny square blanket? Because I looked the other day, and the only thing I saw was a granny square blanket. Was that yours? Eddie and Chuck? Oh, theirs is so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, sweet. Oh my goodness, I'd be rocking those babies all day. Oh, the one on the loom. No, I didn't see it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you send it to me? Or did you post it? I even screenshotted so I could find it, and I couldn't find it. 14. So we are at 14 rows. I believe this is where we start our thumb. So we will end in the cuff. So I'm going to go back down and I will start my thumb row. Yes. Okay. I'll look again. Maybe it's on there. What colors did you do? That way I'll know. I'll know it's yours for sure. I love seeing everybody's work. Oops. Okay. This is a half double crochet and I'm going into the back loop. So Mora, I think it is. You go in, pick up this back loop, just like that. And then you do your yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all three. That's how you do the back loop only. Oops. I think I... Okay, brown, cream, white, and teal green. Okay. I'll look for it again. Hello, welcome in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're back to the last 5 slip stitches. So when I turn my work, I'm going to start making the thumb. As you go down away from the mitten, you do slip stitches in your cuff. You turn, or you chain 1 and turn. Now I'm going to have to refer here to, hello? Hello, Joan and Tanya. Is it Tanya? So we're doing a baby mitten, just like this little one. And I have, let me make sure I have enough rows here. 8, 10. Okay. Went back down. I'm working back up from the cuff, or the bottom part here, which goes on the wrist. So I'm working back up. I'm going to make a chain here in a minute for the thumb. Let's see, where's my thumb? So single crochet 5. We're going to do 3 half double crochets, and we're going to chain out 6 for the thumb. Okay. So we're going to do 5 single crochet, 2, all back loop only, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 half double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 3, and then I'm going to chain 6 by itself, separate from the mitten. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Post it on your YouTube. Oh, okay, great, Kabrina. Thank you. So chain 6, and then we're going to come back. I think I just did 1 slip stitch if I can find it. 2 rows, 5, 6 chain, 2 on a turn, 1 slip stitch. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go back down the thumb. So this is going to be our thumb. We chain 6. We're going to turn our work basically just like that. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch at the top of the thumb up here. Second chain from the hook where the loop is coming, or the yarn's coming through the loop in the very first one. That is our first one. We're going to go into our second one like that. Let's see. Yeah, right there. And I'm holding my work with my left hand, holding the yarn, holding the work. That stabilizes everything. And then I basically just use my right hand for my crochet hook. So I'm slip stitching just 1. That means I go through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Makes it a very tight stitch there. So I slip stitch 1, and then I'm going to go back down the thumb with half double crochets. I have 2 castles painted on the wall. Oh, you do? You have castles. Did you paint them? Or did you have them painted? That's cool. That's really, really neat. Hello, Edfar? Hello. So I'm going to do half double crochets back down. And this is awkward, but you can do it. You just have to hold your yarn, hold your work, stabilize it close to the stitches so that you can go into each loop there. And once you get 1 row or 2 rows down, then it's not as awkward. So this is half double crochet. And I'm always holding the work down to stabilize it, because it is awkward at first. There's 3. 4. 5. Now you're back connected to your mitten. 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to do 1 more half double here. So 6 will be actually 7 with a slip stitch. And I wrote down 6, so it's 1 slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half doubles back down. And then you end with 5 of your slip stitches. And then you chain one and turn your work. I'm going to go back up the thumb. And on this side, going up from the cuff to the mitten, or to the thumb in this case, we're going to do single crochets going up. Slip stitches going down toward the cuff, and single crochets going up toward the mitten. Second stitch from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet and 4 more. Sorry if I'm missing comments. I will catch up in just a minute. I think we got one more to go. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we got 5 single crochets, and then we're going to go back up with half double crochets up the thumb. I'm holding my work again. I'm staying close to the stitch that I'm going to go in for the new crocheters out there. I know it is awkward, especially the first couple rows, but if you can hold your, whatever your dominant hand or non-dominant hand is, hold the stitch close to you. 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then your last stitch is a slip stitch again. Chain 1, turn your work, and then we're going to go back down, doing 1 slip stitch, and then your half double crochets. Two, 3, 4, 5. So we're back down to the 5 slip stitches here in the cuff. And that last one, you see it's kind of hidden. You just pull back on that knot, you can see it. Okay. Let me see where we're at here. Under cuff. First 16. That was my first time. Oh, you did. You had a friend paint the cast. Oh, I bet that's so cute in there. Hey, your first time. Okay. Congratulations. That's so exciting. So exciting. Being a new mom and a new dad. So here, I always kind of just make sure they look similar and I have enough rows. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Okay, about 20. Got about 2 more rows. Go up once and down once, and we're done. Then we can sew it together. And I didn't chain 1 here, so I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then we're going back up, so we're going to do single crochets. That's really tight there. If something doesn't feel right or it's too tight or something, I just pull the yarn back out a couple stitches and then redo it. Single crochet for 5. 'We're going to do half double crochet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how I got that many there. And I wrote down 6, but clearly that was more than that. It's fun to experiment with this. It's trial and error, when you don't have a pattern to go by. You're just kind of winging it. Well, no, it's not right if one's way bigger than the other. You can always frog it and start over. Okay, I think we're down to 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So slip stitch, and then I think we are finished after this row. And then we can sew it together. Let me just count. I had to grab it. Let's see here. We do 15, 14, 18, 20. Okay. So we are we are good. So you measure at least 2 to 3 times. You're going to yarn off here in a minute. Slip knot it. But I want to measure. I'm going to leave myself plenty of a tail so I can sew up the mitten and then the thumb after the mitten's sewed up. Last time I had to cut an additional piece, so I'm going to make sure I have plenty here before I cut it. Okay. So this is what it looks like beforehand. And then I'm going to pull, I'm going to do a slip knot so that that loop that's left, you just pull it all the way through. And it's going to basically knot that right there. And then you'll use this yarn to sew your mitten up. You can kind of stretch it a little bit to line up your stitches when you're sewing it. And this is inside out, so you're going to sew it inside out, and then you'll tuck the tails in here, these little tails, tuck them in, and then you'll flip it right side out after you're all finished. So then you have a cleaner edging, when you're finished. All right, let me grab my needle. So our goal is to sew up the mitten part first, right here. So we start in the cuff. We'll sew part of the thumb just where it comes up on the mitten, just a little bit in the crook, basically, of the thumb. You'll sew up there. You'll reinforce that crook of the thumb here, and then you'll finish sewing up the mitten. Then you'll cinch it off here at the top, tie it, knot it, and then you'll come back down here and you'll finish sewing the thumb. Starting in the crook of the thumb, reinforce it again, and then you'll go up. Sewing this together, cinching the top of the thumb together, reinforcing it, tying it off, hide your tails, then you'll flip it right side out. Hello. So you try to sew into the top part of these stitches. You do the best you can. You reinforce this edging here. Did I? Okay. go in the other loop too, just to make sure I reinforce it really good. Okay, so once you get the cuff reinforced here, then kind of fold your thumb down like this, and then you're going to sew up the mitten here. You're going to sew these two together, I guess the lower portion of the thumb to the mitten part. You're going to sew back and forth here, and then you're going to sew here, and then on the way, all the way up. You're going to leave this unsewed here at the top until you're finished with the mitten. Then you'll do this last. So I'll kind of leave it open so you can see it come together. And these plastic needles catch, so sometimes they don't go through the stitch very good here. There we go. You sort of try to match up the stitch for stitch, but there's times when you go through twice. I do anyway. Sometimes I reinforce it, sometimes it just doesn't look like it's matching up well. So I'll do a double stitch into the same loop, if that makes sense. Like here. I'm just going to go into this left side again. So we're getting close to that lower thumb. So now I'm going to start going here into the crook of it. Crook of the thumb. Reinforcing it. And then up here. There's times when you flip it right side out, and then you can see a big gap or a hole there. All you have to do is flip it back inside out, and then just sew it a little bit more where the gap is. So then you start going up your mitten. This is called a whip stitch. You're just whipping it around, sewing from one side to the other. I don't do it real tight. I don't want to pull those loops too far to where there's a big hole or gap there. I'm going to go over here again. I'm trying to hold it to the side so you can see straight on. If you see it's uneven on one side, just stretch it up to where they match. And then just go from one side to the other. Keeps catching on there. Get in there. Okay, I'm at my top. I'm going to just reinforce it by one and then do a slip knot there. And then I'll show you how to cinch it off. There's my slip knot. Just going to go through that loop. And it's going to make a knot for me, tying it off. Okay, now I want to cinch this hole. So I go through the ridges at the top, as high up as you can get it, and you go underneath. Underneath all those ridges there. Then I'm going to end here where this tail is. I'll show you why. And then you just pull your yarn and you'll see it cinches that top together, pulls it together. So then I'm going to knot it using that little tail that was already there. And then I'm going to reinforce by going across one side to the other. And then one side to the other. Just reinforces the whole, so it stays together there. And then again, I'm going to use that tail to tighten a knot. Then I'm going to just clip my tail on here. Oops. Sorry, you guys. And then I'm going to go down here to my thumb, reinforce the crook of the thumb, go up here, sewing this, cinch this off, tie it off Oh my goodness, the little mittens are so cute. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Hello, Marina. Been tuned in a while. I've been busy. Oh, it's okay, Carrie. I understand. Me too. It's okay when you're busy with work at school and stuff. No big deal. Yeah, these are for, she's about 1.5. So hopefully these fit her okay. I took my adult pattern and I downsized it just by eyeballing and kind of guessing. So we'll see if it fits her. Hopefully it does. If not, that's okay. We'll start again. We'll try again. Oops. I just pulled that right out. Okay, you just tie it off, knot it there in the crook of the thumb, double knot it, and then you can put your finger down there just to kind of make sure everything's straight. And then this tail you might be able to sew it in as you're going. I'm going to kind of reinforce down here. The crook of the thumb again. Oh, I don't want to go that far down. There we go. These are really tiny, sometimes hard to see little stitches. Do the best you can, matching it up. Stretch it if you need to make it line up. And then just go across those loops into the top of them. And you can put a couple stitches in one if you want to, which I do a lot. I don't make this when I'm doing a whip stitch. I don't do it too tight. Make it tight enough, but I don't really pull too hard. And then we see the tiny opening there. You're going to do a cinch around it just like you did on the other side. But we're going to do a slip knot here. Just pull it like you're going to pull it all the way through, but stop until you have a loop. Then you go through the loop. And this is going to knot it off. There. And then just basically doing just like you did on the mitten, cinching it. But you won't have far to go here on this one. And then you can just go across the top part of the mitten, just like, or top part of the thumb, rather. And then we're going to do a slip knot here. Okay. And I'm going to cut the tail. And I won't tuck them in right now so that you can see the finished work. So this is what you end with when you're finished. You got the tails everywhere, and then you flip it inside out, or right side out, I guess. Kind of squish it, move it around the knot at the top. And there you got the little mitten. So that's what they look like. It's stretchy here. This is the cuff, so it stretches to get it on their little hand. And yeah, that's it. Goes on 2 fingers. Like, there's so tiny. The thumb, I don't know about the thumb, but we'll try it on her and see what it looks like. If I need to make adjustments, I can. I think that's the tail sticking out from the other side. I'll have to tuck that in. Yeah, it is. There it is. What I usually do, I'm taking this from Jen, Jen and S is who I got the adult pattern for the mittens, adult mittens, and the beanie hat. She is on the other platform, and she's excellent. You guys want to follow her if you're over there. But she, this is how she kind of tucks her tails in. She does one side and then she goes back up the other, but I didn't have enough to go back up the other side. That's it. You just use your loops here to your advantage in hiding these tails. So it doesn't show through the other side. Boy, that thumb looks funky to me. It might be okay, but I don't know, maybe it's just bulky. Or I might need to downsize those chains. Maybe cut it down like this, like 3 or 4 chains. I'm not sure. We'll try it on her and see see what it looks like. As I was saying, I just added this pattern. I just started this pattern tonight. Just trying to wing it, you know, from going from memory, what her hand looks like in mind. And so this might be, I don't know what I did here. I might have chained a couple more than I did over here on this side. For some reason it just looks longer to me. Maybe by one stitch or two. I don't know, we'll see. If it doesn't fit, we'll try again. It's not a big deal. Crochet's meant to relax, you know, not get too worked up over it. It's just crochet. Gotta have some fun with it. This is kind of hard for me to thread it. Even though it's a large eye there. Sometimes hard to do. Okay, there we go. See if we can get that tucked in a little bit. And that's them. If you guys have any questions or requests, let me know. I'm going to be working on a Navajo diamond stitch blanket real soon. Hopefully this weekend. Maybe, let's see, I work Friday, Saturday. Hopefully Sunday I can start that in the morning. That's my goal. I work Sunday night, so we'll see how much time we have, but at least to get it started so you guys can see. But there's a little, oh, thank you. Thanks, Carrie. I hope they fit her. If not, she can play with them anyway. Put them on her babies. Anyway, well, you guys, thank you again for being here. And I'll try to come on live if I can tomorrow. I get a custom cake, a SpongeBob. What's funnier than 24 or turning 24, something like that? Turning 25. Have you guys ever heard that saying? I know I'm botching it, not getting it right until I look at it, but that's what I'm going to do the weekend. Probably tomorrow I'll be working on it, and then Friday. But it's going to SpongeBob. It'll be SpongeBob themed colors and so forth. So that's my goal, and I will try to bring you guys some video on that, and then as soon as I can, I'll bring you along with the Navajo Diamond Stitch blanket. So I hope you all have a wonderful day tomorrow, and we will see you all real soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.